Now, what is the purpose of case study? So I was talking about now that it is a kind of workbook, pre-training for all of you, because it is testing the qualities of administrator. What values are required? Fluid intelligence, now real life dilemmas, how you will become objective, empathetic, compassionate, impartial, non-partisanship in an era where the most of the civil servants are bending towards any kind of a political affiliation or just going for having more followers. Our civil servants are also becoming influencer day by day. Why so? Because nowadays the social media is most powerful weapon and everybody wants to dominate there. But the real change at the grassroots level will come only when a person is willing to work rather than to show work. If they are more busy in just portraying their work, naturally they will not have much time and attention for implementation. They will be just rushing to publish their novel works. See, I was talking to one of my friend. He is working in a Naxal affected area, Balaghat, and recently, I think 1 day or 2 days ago, one of the coveted officer, he joined as a constable, and he was promoted continuously to now he was an inspector. He was martyred, and he was also part of the that operation. He's additional SP. So he told that most of the people who are working in the Balaghat regions try to just introduce new kinds of initiatives. Why? Because new initiatives will get published in magazines. There are so many magazines. One of them, also, Better India. But that doesn't help. What will help is to strengthen the existing institutions and laws. If there is PESA, we have to work hard to strengthen that. That is very hard. To work for enhancement in system, to become more inclusive. No, if a tribal is coming 20-kilometer walking, he is coming 20-kilometer, 25-kilometer from very far areas. You should be accessible, but that won't be posted in any kind of a newspaper. Okay, but why people are doing? Because they want to become influencer. Because people know that in today's era, if you have more follower, you have more money. Okay, and many of the people, I don't want to name, but one of the officer in Uttarakhand, he was posting everything he was doing. And most of the time he was trying to catch people who are doing wrongdoing of 20 rupees, 30 rupees, 50 rupees, 100 rupees. Okay, it's fine. But those things could be done by a much lower level officer as well. Your work as a district magistrate or a divisional commissioner is much higher. You have to catch white collar criminals. You have to catch politically collusive bribery. That is your work. Your work is not to go to cyber cafe and ask, okay, why you are taking 30 rupees in board, you have written 10 rupees. No. So everybody has to understand, and that is why case studies are written. So if you are a district magistrate, you will write points like you are a district magistrate. If you are an inspector, you will write points like you are an inspector. If you are an investigating officer of any case, investigating officer means that you will not be framing charges. So while framing charges, you will ensure objectivity. You will not try to think about what is the background of the person coming for justice. And this is the sole purpose of introducing case studies, and why they are now even introducing the case study kinds of question in 10 markers as well. Why? Because some dishonest people are just doing rote learning and writing good answers and getting good marks in ethics and joining services. The primary function or primary objective of UPSC was to test your morality, but they are failing to do so. So they are also trying to now throw you in such a circumstances where you have to quick think. When you will think quickly, then you will write what your actual value is. When there is a time constraint, you will not be able to fake it that much. That is their they are trying to do, because as an institution, their role is only one, to select the best possible person for that particular role. Okay. So this is what case study is trying to now dissect from you. Now, while you are solving any of the case study, think that you are already an administrator and a person is coming in front of you, not someone who is an observer, not someone as a common person. Then you will be able to practically solve that problem. Okay. And then you will be able to, if say for example, two sides are there, then you will be able to do justice with both the sides. Because see, you must have seen that people now get so dejected that someone accused of a crime, maybe a very heinous crime, is also given fair trial. But once you become a judge, you will not be able to fasten the trial of anyone, because your duty has been codified in that manner. if the duty was codified in different manner, that if a heinous criminal will come and there will be a fast track court and the fast track process, which was also formulated, but the CRPC remains same. Okay, so you will have to follow that. So you cannot change that. And once you become an administrator, you will also become the a kind of a prisoner of law, rules, and regulation. If you are not following that, then you will be pressurized by 3 C's. One is CBI, second is CVC, and third is CAG. Okay, so these 3 are putting any civil servant on constant pressure. Okay. Now, if you are not trying to solve any kind of a question, first of all, you need to understand that an ideal civil servant in a nation like India has to have empathy. Why so? Because we have a large population of people who do not have enough money. We have a huge population of people who do not have enough resources. So now, and also our society is divided in caste, our society is also gendered, and our society also has minorities. Okay, in such scenario, it is very, very important that a person who is holding such post should be empathetic. Secondly, integrity. Why integrity? Because you must have observed that one of the officer, he was telling so big things that I will make a difference. He was from one of the northeast states. I will do this, I will do that. That's why I became a civil servant. And he was caught red-handed taking bribe. So integrity is very, very important. In civil services, it has been observed that a person, again, I think he was from Uttar Pradesh cadre, and at that time, it is a story of, I think, 16, 17 years old. At that time, there was some kind of essay on dowry, and he wrote a very good essay, so much so that he was a top 3 marks getter in essay. And then he took dowry. So this is the lack of integrity, which is quite visible. So being a civil servant in a country like India, where the government is not so seen in a good light or a positive light by a common people. Okay, but most of the people do not have this kind of know-how about their rights that they can bring some kind of a positive change. Most of the people are struggling to have 2 meals a day. Most of the people are struggling to have a kind of a shelter, good education, good health. So they are not having that much of resources to know about Right to Information Act, Citizen Charter. They are not even educated. So that kind of a lack of education, wisdom, and know-how are being exploited by both the kinds of executives, the political and the permanent executives. If you go to Kerala and see, I had talked to one of, again, my seniors, is working in Kerala in Indian Police Service, and he was saying that you can't do what you can do in Bihar. I said, why? He said that in people in Kerala, majority of people know the rules and regulations, and they are also politically very active. Okay, and there are a huge number of protests also that happens against government. So people are very, very knowledgeable about their rights. When you go to Bihar, there is a my baap culture. Why my baap culture? Because people are ignorant about their rights. So if you will join as a civil servant, if you want not to have an approach which majority of the people have, to just have the ruthless power and massive kinds of making of money from illicit activities, then it will suit that people who are there are ignorant. And that is why politicians also focuses on giving freebies. But if they will improve the education sector, if they will improve the health sector, then what will happen? They will be made accountable. Nobody will win the election by giving 10,000 rupees. Nobody will win elections by giving free electricity, because there is no poor people left. People are educated. They will demand higher things. Higher things means they will demand good quality water. They will demand good quality air. They will demand good quality education, health, which is providing them skill. They will demand good quality of safety. They will demand all the higher things. They will demand that there is absolutely negligible corruption, and all the people are accountable. So naturally, it is observed in any of the country, whether it is India, whether it is United States of America, or any country, the more they become developed, the lesser the grip of bureaucracy and government is on common people. So if you talk to a civil servant of 1960s, 70s, when there was a license Raj, he was far more having power to do things compared to a 2020s officer. And in 2030s, 40s, 50s, a natural decline will be there in the power of a civil servant. Why so? Because people will become more knowledgeable about their rights. So you in this present circumstances, specifically when you are posted in districts which are dominated by tribal people, dominated by erstwhile depressed castes, minorities, you will have to have integrity. Thirdly, pragmatism. Pragmatism is that what you are saying should be also implementable. You cannot say, okay, I will try to impart a skill development so that people are manufacturing semiconductor chips. See, semiconductor chips will require a very high level of skill that cannot be implemented. You can write smaller things. Again, now some kind of a self-help groups can be open, small industries can be open, artisans can be provided support. This is a pragmatic step. You cannot write by watching some kinds of a reel and best practices. You're writing anything. No, something which is pragmatic, something which can be implementable, and then you will be given more marks. Rule-based ethics. Rule-based ethics is what? Immanuel Kant said that whatever you are doing in life, it's not just about what you are doing. It's also about what you are thinking before doing that work. If you're thinking, if the rule behind your work is also immoral, that means you are doing an unethical action. And it is one of the highest pedestrian of ethics. So if you are using that as well, it will give you more marks.